I'm almost 60 years old and didn't think in my wildest dreams that I would ever be wearing braces at this age.
Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Tamara, and this is Reimagining 50 Plus, where we take a look at getting older and dealing with all of the issues that comes with that, but at the same time maintaining our youthful spirit. And that would, of course, include doing a lot of fun things, maybe things we hadn't done before. So if you're new here, welcome. And if you've been with me before, then you know that I have mentioned getting Invisalign later in life when I never ever thought that that was something that I would need to do. I always had perfectly straight teeth. So what happened? That as I'm almost 60 years old, my teeth start to
Look like a leaning fence.
So I just thought that there might be others that are questioning whether this is something that they would want to do. Invisalign is not cheap. And if you stick around to the end, I will tell you how much it cost me. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, stay tuned. Here we go. So a few years ago, when I went to the dentist, I was told,
You probably should get a night guard.
at the time it was around $350. So of course I did not think that it was worth it. So I didn't get a night guard. So fast forward 3 years ago, I saw a picture of myself and I looked at my teeth and it looked like there was a fence falling down. So the next time I went to the dentist, I said, is there anything that can be done about this? And the dentist said to me, I bet you grind your teeth. Well, what happens is that you start to have receding gums and you start to have a whole slew of problems that go along with that. She said there are a couple of ways that you can fix this problem. Number one, you need a bite guard. I thought, here we go again with the bite guard. I said, well, what are the other options? She said, well, you may want to get Invisalign. So I just want to take you through it step by step so that you have a pretty good understanding of what to expect. First of all, they will take a mold of your teeth. And so Invisalign is able to give you an idea of how many months you will need to wear the invisible trays, which are the braces. And they do that by looking at where your teeth are now and where straight teeth will be and how long that will take. So that's the first step. Then you have to commit to the money. And at my dentist, I could pay on installments through a thing called Care Credit, but they wanted their money up front. So you really have to make this commitment. Your teeth are actually going to be moved, and that means the bone structure underneath the tooth is gradually going to be moved. This is something that takes time, and depending on how sensitive you are, some people breeze through it. They never have any issues. Other people have some mild discomfort. That's what they call it.
Discomfort.
And other people experience real pain. I had a lot of discomfort, and I actually had some pain. So the first thing that I was a little shocked to find out is that you must wear these trays 22 hours a day and night, which means if you wear them the ideal amount of time, you get 2 hours of eating time. So that might be a half an hour in the morning if you enjoy a cup of coffee or a warm beverage in the morning, because you cannot drink anything but water when you have the trays in your mouth. So a half an hour for breakfast, a half an hour for lunch, and then a whole hour for dinner. Try to do a half an hour and you're over by 5 minutes. It's okay. At the end of the day, if you've really only taken 2 hours to do the food thing, then you're fine. For every hour that you don't have these things in your mouth, you're not getting any of the results. And so the time frame they initially give you is no longer valid. It's going to bump it out by a day or two or a week or a month. So you really have to commit to being diligent to this process. Number one rule
Is that you never, ever, ever
wrap your trays in a tissue, because they will get thrown away. So many people have done that accidentally. You just forget. Well, what do? Well, they give you a kit when you first start with Invisalign, and there will be a container. So what I did is I put together a kit that I carried with me in my purse at all times. And I got a little zipper pouch that would hold that. I also had two different types of flossing. I got these picks, which I don't know if you've seen them. They come apart and they're really handy, and I can list this below. But you have like little, I don't know, little burrs on them. Anyway, so I got that, and then I had a little tiny thing of floss that I kept with me in the pouch. I also had a little collapsible toothbrush that went in the kit, and then I had a small tube of toothpaste. So, and I used the Sensodyne because your teeth will be sensitive because they're in a constant state of moving. Here's another little style pick that you can find these everywhere. So what I did is I had all of that inside this pouch. Now there's one more thing that I kept in this pouch, and one of these. All right, so what is this? This is a tool that you will reach up into your mouth and unhook the top. So you have to get your fingernail underneath the rim and pop it up, which I could do very easily on the bottom tray. But that top one, I was sticking my hand back in my mouth. I was trying to get, I could not get it. So once I got this tool, it goes in, it just hooks. Somebody said, oh, you could use a crochet hook. That's fine, but it's too long. I didn't like that. So this little tool, you can put your finger in it and just, and it doesn't take a lot of pressure. It's just getting up under there and getting that, you know, to pull it down. So the tool also went into the pouch. So I've got my great little pouch. Oh, and I had one other thing that I had, and that was a small mirror of my teeth. I'm telling you, you have to commit to this. And I had this pouch with me every time I went out, just in case. Now, if I did not bring the pouch with me, I didn't eat. I did not eat. So some people call it the Invisalign Diet because you really think twice. You don't just grab a cup of coffee, and why not a hot cup of coffee or a hot tea? Because it'll melt your trays, or at the very least, it will cause them to lose their shape. Now, these trays are hard trays, and here is what the trays look like. And they're hard. They're not soft pliable, they're hard, but they will melt. Okay, that's just the bottom one. Okay, and I can get mine underneath it. Here's something else, ladies. You can't wear regular lipstick because it will be all over the trays. Now, who's wearing lipstick these days under a mask anyway, right? But back when I first got them, I was still wearing lipstick. And so I had to change it up and go to a lipstick that will not get on my retainer. So I found, and I've talked about this on previous videos, but I found the Revlon Color Stay Liquid Lip. And it's great, and it goes on, stays on all day, especially with the retainers. So one other thing that I bought to go with me in my purse, and it's called white foam. Kills 99.9% of the germs, and it has a little bit of a whitening action. So this is really great stuff. So between this and my kit, I felt like I was keeping everything very clean. All right, so what to expect when you first get them? Do they hurt? Yes, it does. You get over that. But what happens is that the edge of the tray, it's kind of sharp. And so I got blisters on the underside of my tongue and in the top of, you know, where my lip comes down because it's not used to rubbing against it. So then I got smart. I got out my nail file and I just lightly sanded the whole edge of that tray. I just sanded it down, not so much that it was going to affect, you know, the way it positioned in my mouth, but definitely took the edge off. The other thing I did is I asked the dentist for a little box of that wax that they will give you when you first get braces. So I would put a big blob of that wax up in an area that was especially painful and creating blisters. So every time I got a new tray, I went through that little routine. So that brings me to another point. How often do you have to go to the dentist? Basically every month I was going back for them to check it, make sure everything looked good, and then give me the next 3. I think one time they gave me 4, maybe like right in the middle, I got 4 sets. So, and you always keep the last set of trays. So when you get your next set, you're wearing one when you go in, make sure you take that and put it in your container. They're going to put the new tray in, make sure everything feels good to you, looks good to them. And then you take that tray back home, because if for some reason you lose this tray or you destroy it somehow, you've got your old ones to go back to, because you can't just jump into the next one. It's not time yet. You have to give each set of trays the full 2 weeks. Now, I've heard people say, well, at 12 days, I put in the new ones because they were super loose. I'm not advocating that. I'm sort of a rule follower, and so I followed the process. So you always want to keep that last set of trays, which, by the way, includes the very last time you go in, and then they're going to give you your trays that you will wear forever. That's right, at night. At the time when I clean them, and they're in for the night, I bought a special, I say special because this is not the toothbrush that I brush my teeth with. This is a tiny little toothbrush. It's very short. It's tiny, and I bought it specifically for cleaning the trays because it gets right down in between. See, it nestles right down in there. Separate toothbrush just for cleaning these trays. They will give you in your initial welcome to the party kit 5 packages of a cleaning solution. And so what I did is that I would do it first thing in the morning and let the trays soak in that, put my trays back in after I ate, and then at dinner time, same thing. So I used that secret sauce all day long, and then when I put them on, last meal, when I put them on, then I would go ahead and dump that liquid out. So they do give you some of those, but I think Invisalign will sell those extra packages. I'm sure they will. So what's actually happening whenever you are wearing these Invisalign is that they are slowly actually moving your teeth, which means moving the bone structure. So when your teeth are realigned, you will go back in for that last check. Once you have said, yes, everything looks good to me, then you're going to get your final set of trays made. And that's when you want to keep that, in my case, it was the number 10 set, keep that last set of trays just in case. Because if anything happens to your final tray set, you will have to go back and pay for more trays to be made. So you want to make sure that you've got that spare on hand. Just put them in your bathroom drawer and hang on to them. So now how often do you have to wear the final tray?
6 more months.
6 more months, because that's how long it takes your bone to set. And I looked into this because I thought, why am I still wearing these things all day long? Now that they're in position, now they've got to set up. And if you take the trays out during that next 6 months, you'll feel that they feel wiggle woggly. And you don't want that. You want them to be in one position, I guess sort of like wearing a cast if you break your arm or something. So that's why you have to continue to wear them for another 6 months. Now they're not moving. You don't want them to move at this point. You want them to be firm in their position. And then the body says, oh, okay, I can start to build bone. And that's what it takes to build the bone and get them to set perfectly. It's quite the undertaking. So I just graduated from wearing them. December was my graduation. I just completed that whole process, and now I am wearing them at night, every night. So why wear these? I'll be 60 this year. Why did I decide to get them? Because at the end of the day, I value my teeth. I did not like the receding gums. I have had implants over the years. One implant that I had involved a bridge, and that bridge implant combination was $12,000. So I was not looking forward to having major dental work. And so for me, the cost of this was something that I didn't like, but I was willing to pay. So how much did it cost? And this is probably maybe a little higher because I am in Southern California, and certain areas it might be a little less. But remember, you're dealing with one company. Invisalign is the company, and you're not dealing with just your dentist.
So it was $4,000.
It was expensive. Now, is it as expensive as the 2 implants that I had done 15 years ago? No, it wasn't. So at the end of the day, it's not cheap, but it also is preventing some of the other issues. I hadn't taken care of these shifting teeth. And I don't know if I still grind my teeth at night. I certainly don't wake up with my teeth clenched like I used to. So at the end of the day, I'm glad I did it. I'm almost 60 years old and didn't think in my wildest dreams that I would ever be wearing braces at this age, but I'm glad I did. So if you have done this, leave me a comment below. I would love to know what your experience is. And if you like this, give me a thumbs up. And what that does is it tells the analytics of YouTube that some other people might enjoy this video too. And as always, subscribe so that you can stay in the loop. I do try to upload a new video every Thursday night. So until next time, take care. Bye-bye.